Friday, November 29, 2013, I met with President Aquino to discuss with him my course of action in the wake of the complaint filed by the Department of Justice against me with regard to the Priority Development Assistance Fund allocated to the congressional district I once represented. The question that must be in everyone's mind is, did you resign? Why will I resign? Why will I resign if some quarters will only interpret it as an admission of guilt? Why will I resign if I know that I can defend my honor, integrity, and innocence in a fair justice system? Why will I resign if at this point there is only an allegation that has yet to even pass the scrutiny of the Ombudsman to determine if it has basis to undergo preliminary investigation? Why will I resign if the allegations do not have anything to do with my present duty as Commissioner of Customs? Why will I resign if there are those who continue to believe in me and encourage me to stand up to fight for my rights and don't give in to pressure by the hecklers? Why will I resign and give to my enemies, those whom I have crossed and those who lust for the position, the pleasure of seeing me get out of their way? I assume this post not because I asked for it, but because I accepted a challenge that was presented to me by the President. A president who inspired me to take on a task that had the risk of leaving me wounded or damaged. Because that is how it is in customs. Many have come and gone, some have fallen by the wayside, some have turned to the dark side, and others just faded away. But I took on the task because I believed that it was a cause worth fighting for. To break the generations-long kalakaran, to reverse the bad image of customs, and to propel it forward to a reformed and modernized customs service. But with this development, which had nothing to do with my function or performance as Commissioner of Customs, I have to do what is fit to the standard of what a Biazon is. One who is as dedicated to honor as he is to duty, one who is brave in the face of adversity as he is courageous to assume accountability, one who is ready to sacrifice as he is reluctant to abuse. It is therefore my decision to irrevocably tender my resignation as Commissioner of Customs. It is a decision that I am at peace with. I resign in order to prevent the exploitation of the controversy by parties who would like nothing better than to have an issue to throw against the Aquino administration. Being a presidential appointee to a sensitive post, critics will surely have a field day taking potshots at the President if I stay in the post. I would rather see the reforms of this administration succeed than retain my opportunity to serve. I resign to protect my family, particularly my young children, from the exposure to the hostile environment of a public controversy involving their father. The intense discussion in media may be too much for them to endure. They are too young to understand that in the face of allegations like these, anyone is deemed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. My own father served this country for 52 years with untarnished service. I would like to uphold the honor he earned for our name. No position is worth sacrificing for the well-being and peace of mind of my family. I resign in order to relieve myself of the stress and pressure that have been brought upon me by those who have been affected by the reforms I have initiated, those whose interests I have blocked and disrupted, those who would like to uphold the status quo of the kalakaran in customs, wherein they benefit from, and those who have been taken out of their comfort zones. Indeed, reform has its enemies, and in the case of customs reform, well-funded enemies. In the past 2 years, I have so far survived the attacks and obstacles thrown at me, but I can only take so much. It has been said that presidential appointees serve at the pleasure of the President. Indeed, they do. At one point, I have availed of that privilege afforded to appointees. But I also believe that public officers serve based on the trust of the Filipino people. And on this instance, for this particular sensitive post, I believe that even if the distrust comes from just a segment of the people, honor dictates that I give up the post and make way for new leadership in the Bureau. I am one who is brave enough to fight a battle worth fighting for, but I am also one who is courageous enough to acknowledge the time to give way to another approach in waging the war. As I leave the Bureau and move on to the next chapter of my life, allow me to quote the passage that I quoted upon entering this institution. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. It served as the beginning waypoint in my journey of service in the Bureau. As I leave this path and move on to another, it is still the waypoint that I will follow. To the men and women of the Bureau, I continue to encourage you. Be the generation which will fulfill the desire of the people for a customs administration that they can trust and be proud of. To my family, friends, staff, and those who continue to support and believe in me, my most heartfelt appreciation for you for sticking out, even whatever come what may. I love you all. To those who I have had the privilege to serve, those who tweeted me to follow up on the release of their parcels from the post office, those who texted me to seek help with their company's shipments, those who sent inbox messages to my Facebook account just to inquire about customs procedures, it has been a pleasure to work for you and serve you. Rest assured, I will be back someday to continue serving the public. To the President, thank you very much for this opportunity to serve you and the Filipino people. It has been a worthwhile endeavor, a learning experience, and a memorable time. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Questions?
Yan po ang pananalita ni Customs Commissioner Ruffy Biazon kung saan siya ay nagbitiw na sa pwesto bilang Customs Commissioner. At sinagot niya ang mga aligasyon at ang mga pagpataw sa kanya ng mga sinasabi na dapat siya ay mag-resign sa kanyang pananalita sa gitna ng panawagan na mag-resign. Sagot ni Biazon, bakit daw siya magre-resign? Baka daw ma-misinterpret ang kanyang pag-amin at sabihin siya ay guilty. Pero gayon pa man, siya po ay nagsumite ng kanyang irrevocable resignation sa mga dahilan. Ito'y para maiwasan daw ang pag-exploit sa kanya at maging ibang mga tao, lalo na yung pagbabato at maapektuhan ang Aquino administration. Siya din daw ay nag-resign para maproteksyonan ang kanyang pamilya, lalo na't bata pa raw ang kanyang mga anak. Siya din daw ay nag-resign para na rin mawala at makawala sa stress. Sinabi pa ni Biazon na marami talagang umaatake sa kanya dahil sa kanyang posisyon at sa mga ginagawang reforma sa Bureau of Customs. Sa kanya pang pananalita ay sinabi niya well-funded daw ang mga taong nasa likod na siya'y gustong patalsikin sa pwesto. Samantala, nagpasalamat din si Biazon sa lahat ng tumulong, sumuporta at nagtiwala daw sa kanya habang siya'y nakaupo bilang Customs Commissioner. Siya ay nagpasalamat din kay Pangulong Noynoy Aquino at sa kanyang panghuli ay sinabi niya na siya ay babalik muli bilang o gusto niya pang magserbisyo sa taong bayan pero hindi naman niya sinabi kung papaanong paraan. At ngayon po sa inyong nakikita ay patuloy po ang pulong balitaan ng press conference na isinasagawa ni Customs Commissioner Ruffy Biazon. At muli po, aming inuulit, siya po ay nagbitiw na sa pwesto bilang Customs Commissioner.